Chivalry 2 has a small player base, but somehow that makes the game way more fun. What's going on, guys? It's Sean and Salami, and a frequent question that comes up with Chivalry 2 from people who haven't played it is questions about how active the game is. Now, I wanted to talk about why I think the game being so small is such a good thing, but if you are looking for the answer to that question, the short answer to that question is it's as alive as ever, and you will always have a full game no matter what time of day, even at the most dead times like 3 a.m. for example. Now, the player base is small, but because there's always active games going, Chivalry 2 finds itself in a unique spot where when you check the scoreboard when you first get into a game, if you do a quick scan, there's going to be a few names that you recognize if you've played long enough. And in this match, I'll give some examples of that. But keep in mind, I have no access to chat on console. I've never talked to some of these people, but I still emote with them when I see them based on mutual respect we've had from fights over the years, and also just funny moments where we're not even playing the game and just having dance parties or someone's playing a harp in the background. And if you're not interested in making friends, the coolest thing maybe about this is that Chivalry 2 lets you live out a fantasy of like carving out a legacy as a famous Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings warrior. I remember when I wasn't even involved in the community, had no access to chat, people still knew who I was. Once I joined the Discords and streams and stuff and started getting to know these people, they already knew who I was. And I'm not the world's greatest player. I'm good, but it's just having a recognizable name, doing solid in TO games. So overall, I think Chivalry 2 is in an amazing spot, even if you're not interested in getting into the community. And if you are, definitely check out my Discord. It'll be in the pinned comment. It's the coolest thing to come out of content creation. It's like a bridge for new players to join and get involved in other communities in the game if you're trying to get into clans, whatnot. My Discord is the best place to start. It's been so cool to see it grow. But now let's get into the gameplay, where I've decided I'm going to start shouting people out that I get along with or that have cool moments, as long as it's positive, no witch hunting, nothing negative like that. What inspired the video was that we're going to be in a game with a pretty famous warrior that's not in any of the Discords I've never talked to. Bald female. An absolute monster on the battlefield. Me and him carried this game so hard. We were finishing so significantly ahead of the rest of the team, and it felt like we were a two-man army, similar to the video I just did with Tiny Rick the other day. But Bald Female is one of my favorite people to run into in this game. We're always emoting at each other when we see each other, and it was cool to get this game in with them despite never talking. And on the other side, there's going to be someone I point out throughout the game that is an absolute monster and pretty much always kills me when I run into them, that I'd also like to shout out later. So sit back and enjoy as we get into our usual narrated gameplay, funny moments, the whole 9 yards, as we defend Thayic Stronghold using the longsword. Now, this is something that was a little brutal in this game. I don't really care about team damage unless it's a projectile, but I got downed a lot by teammates. I lost track of how many times. It was a little crazy. Now, a lot of the times it was my fault because I'm running into these situations where I'm low health. And it's no hate to anyone, but I'd be curious to see how many times you guys can count this happening where I just get downed by teammates. Like I said, this defense squad was mostly made up of new players, so no hate or anything. Now, the Messer was swinging nicely, so we're going to go back to that weapon after our next life with the longsword. We're going to decide to go back to it, but this is the player I want to shout out, Destroyers. He is a beast. He kills me almost every time. He's always in the thick of the action. Another player I love running into. So the longsword is my most reliable weapon. It's something I use whenever I gotta get back to basics and get my game under control after I play bad. But the Messer overall is my best weapon. I do much better with that than anything else, pretty much by far. So even if you don't see me use it the most, it's definitely my best weapon. But if I really want to do well for this team, I figured I should use my better weapon, because I did get off to a slow start. Check this out. He's going to go for a special attack with the Morning Star, and I'm already in my animation, so I can't hold up block. So I managed to sidestep it. It's pretty satisfying to look back at. Smooth by me, huh? Really frustrating is we're going back to get a bandage and we just get killed by a catapult, and it's pretty funny, we land directly at the guy who killed us. He's going to block our throwing axe, and this irritated me because he also killed me earlier, and I took it a little personal. So he's gonna fall off the side here, and I'm gonna just chase after him. Not the brightest thing to do, especially with how I'm playing it. You want to be crouching against a one-hander to keep your distance, but we managed to kill him regardless and laugh right back at him. This is not smart. I can never stay locked in for a full game. I get at least a few autopilot moments like this a game. And now we're in a 2v1, and the guy I mentioned earlier, Destroyers, is one of them. He is not going to let me survive this. No chance. Usually when you win a 1vx, it's because the players aren't good, and we get punished for a mistake here. Now this is maybe the most intense sequence in the match until the ending, and we're going to get into a big time outnumbered team fight. They have so many enemies, but we hold our own alongside Bald Female and a few others. Pretty funny because I thought we had a lot of teammates backing us up, but I guess they went the other way to defend the banners. I did clip that for a YouTube short, so we're going to have the video cut out for a minute. I do apologize about that. I thought I would be able to clip it and keep the gameplay rolling. I'm going to die while I do that, and it's going to pick up while we're heading back to the banners. In case you didn't know, you always want to take the forward spawn. Almost every single time you should just take it. I don't know why I didn't there. It was like a little bit of a mental lapse. I talked in the beginning about getting downed by teammates a lot. It didn't really happen in the first half of the video, but it's going to start happening a lot now. Again, no hate. Now, as we gear up for the last objective to try and take home the win with Bald Female getting the VIP, because the whole theme of this video is the community aspect, I'm not going to do a silly comment for shout-outs, but I do want to shout out one person that has become one of my closest friends, internet or otherwise, and that's Seasick Khan. He is the most supportive guy in the entire world and a true friend. Sorry about the glazing for people that don't know, but the whole community aspect of this video, I do think it's worth pointing out because he is as loyal as any real-life friend I've ever made. Now, this is my favorite objective in the entire game. I absolutely love this stage, so I'm going to let this breathe a little bit. But before I do, I would like to request a like for the video if you're enjoying it. It helps out smaller YouTubers like me a lot, and if you do want to see future Chivalry 2 content like this, definitely give me a subscribe. You can always take it back later if my videos are trash, but let's see if we can bring home this win. So how about that? Great win. And if you do want to get deeper into the community than just the emoting in games that I talked about, definitely check out the Discord. It'll be in the pinned comment. I love you guys. I will see you in the next one.